Hello everyone and welcome to a weekend live stream. It's been a while since we've had one of those. So yeah, today we are going to try the second part of the Fiberpunk system. I don't know whether it's, I keep calling it system because like the Quinley system was called like Quinley system and stuff. But in the last live stream we tried out the node, which is an ESP32 that kind of takes away the SD card from the printer, replaces it with a dummy, and then decides, hey, the user now wants to write stuff onto that SD card. Let's cut that connection to the printer, and I'm going to take that over, and then it's writing to the SD card. And then once you're printing, it basically attaches the SD card back to the printer and just gives it the go command through USB. So there's no USB streaming, no USB G-code streaming, and I guess like power loss detection and stuff should still work because the node, the print host in that case, is just completely out of the loop. The printer is doing everything off of the SD card. So that is the node, but there was also a second part to that ecosystem that Fiberpunk are releasing, and that is, this camera doesn't have the screen on. Let me just turn that back on. There we go. That is the Sentry. So that's the little Sentry box that that they're selling for. Let me just double check. So there's the manual right there, which we were looking for last time. I believe it's $29.99 right now. Yeah, so you can get the Sentry Pro, which I have with the box. So that's $34 on sale, or $40 if you just buy it by itself. Are there any? Oh yeah, that's I mean I tend to do that, yeah. So wow. Yeah, it's a camera in a box, and let me see, are there specs for what it does? MJPEG streaming protocol. Is this an HD camera? I would think so, that it's at least like 720p. I looked at what this actually does. So I looked at what's, because, you know, I looked at the box. Let's just take a quick look inside the box. No, there's, that's, it's, this ender. God, this ender keeps oozing sand. I swear, like everything is always full of sand. It's quite annoying. What you get with the Sentry is the Sentry camera itself. So that is the Sentry Pro, of course, in the box, which has two mounting options. So this is the one for camera tripods, which I don't exactly know how that's supposed to be used. I guess with a threaded insert, which unfortunately I don't have the correct one for quarter 20. I have the ones for all the metric sizes here, but I think the quarter 20 is at home. So that's the insert size right there. And then on the sides, you can kind of see that that is two holes right there for a printed arm so that you can attach it to a printer with like a 3D printed arm, and it sits like right here in front of the machine. That would be the idea for that. I don't have that, so somewhere around there, so it actually sees the bed. I don't have that arm printed, so we're gonna like find a way to attach this. Is that a microphone hole? That would be unnecessary. But yeah, so I looked at this thing, I was like, okay, cool. The Node has these expansion ports, these 3 ports in the front here. This has like the same connector, so I guess like you just plug this into that and like it works. But, you know, looking in the box, there's like a couple T-nuts and screws and stuff in here, power supply, but there is no cable to connect these. I was like, wait a second, can I even do this live stream if there's no cables, no connections and stuff? And it turns out you don't actually connect this to that. So this is another Wi-Fi device. So this thing has an ESP32 in it, which connects to Wi-Fi. This thing also has some microcontroller in it that connects to Wi-Fi, and these don't know about each other, so they're not connected. The only thing tying them together is their software. So there is another component to this, and that is the Nexus software, I believe. And that runs on, so that there's distributing Windows binaries. I guess you can also run it on Linux. That would make sense if you have like a Docker setup or something. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, this by itself doesn't do anything. So you need some sort of host communicator thing that ties it all together. So this camera, as I understand it by itself, is just a camera that streams to MJPEG. So I don't know if it does like an RTSP stream or something, so similar to what surveillance cameras will do. But this by itself doesn't really do anything. There may be an option at some point. I don't know how capable the chips in this are. I have 2. We're going to take one apart. I don't know if at some point you're going to be able to just plug in this guy to that guy and skip the host software. But as it stands, this is just a network camera that works with their host. So yeah, the way that the Node was set up is that because it has an SD card in it, so that one, and that is the same SD card that is going to connect to the printer, that is basically sharing with the printer and switching back and forth who gets access to that, you put a config file in this. The Sentry doesn't have a, let's use that camera, I think that's going to be nicer. Yeah, there we go. The Sentry doesn't have any micro SD input. It has a switch at the top right there. It has these 2 ports, and it has two USB-C ports, one on either side. And they are labeled in, where is it? In and out. I don't quite know what that is for yet, but we hopefully will figure it out at some point. Animation creations about the, ooh, it's Octoprint compatible, that's cool. Animations creation is asking about the software, whether it's open source. So my understanding is the software that's running on the hardware is open source, but I don't know if the Nexus host that runs on your Windows or your bigger PC is actually open source. I do not know. Just double checking the stream is public. Yes. Okay, that was the one thing I was still worrying about here. Okay. So Neil is saying this is Octoprint compatible. Yeah, so Octoprint you can point to any MJPEG stream. So I guess you could use this camera just as a surveillance camera or as a network camera as is. I guess it just outputs MJPEG. So what I was saying with the SD cards is, yeah, this guy has the micro SD card built in. This does not. You actually plug this into your host computer through USB, through the USB-C. Maybe we actually use the import for that. You plug that into your host computer once, and then in the Nexus software, you actually set this up for Wi-Fi. I don't know if it actually streams anything through USB. That would be kind of cool. Like, you know, if you ever lose interest in the software, or I don't know, it stops working, whatever use case, that it just works as a webcam, that would be kind of nice. But yeah, you set it up through the Nexus software, and then you can disconnect it from USB. You just use it to power the camera, and you point it at your printer. That's the idea. So let's jump into the instructions. So this time I am prepared. I have the instructions open. And for some reason, YouTube chat is being weird. It feels like it's not refreshing, but it is. You guys are just too quiet today. But yeah, thank you to all the, how many people are we? Live stream, 25 people watching right now. Hi to every single one of you. So, Sentry tutorial by Fiberpunk. Prepare in advance. That's the step that I skipped, as always. I did not prepare in advance. Hi Tanke, hi Jochen. Good to have you guys around. Yobo, nice to see you guys. And of course, Animation Creations, always here for these streams. I'm not going to read everyone out here. Items in the package, we went through that. We did not get the 2.4G antenna, because I assume this guy would have just a built-in taped-on antenna, kind of like the Ultimaker 3 had, where it's just like a little flex PCB antenna that's stuck to the frame somewhere, or maybe printed circuit board. No idea, but I'm going to assume there's some sort of antenna in there. USB-C cable, one adapter. Yes, so we did get the power adapter, this one. And unfortunately, that is, if you can see in the background there, that's what it's supposed to look like. That is a European or German compatible adapter, and that is the US adapter that they sent. If you actually buy these, I think you're going to get the correct one. So this is just one I had from some tablet. Come on, focus. It's Lenovo. Like, this isn't associated with Lenovo, but they sent one, and this is a 2 amp, very light for a 2 amp charger. Focus. Focus. There we go. Switching adapter, 5 volt, 2 amp. So any phone charger, any leftover phone charger is going to work for this. T-screw and nuts, 2 pairs, and that is to mount the arm to your print, and we're going to see that arm in a bit. So, oh yeah, actually, that's what's, nope. How do we zoom in this? Shift, Control, no. Zoom? Nope, I guess we can't really zoom in. And if I zoom here, like, it's just gonna rescale. Maybe do that. Cool. So that looks like it's an ESP32 SU. So if somebody knows what the SU is special about, note it. That's the camera module here, and it's a RYS-2640-M7. So if somebody wants to look that up. Zoom button, top left. Oh, cool. Thanks. Well, that's not doing anything. Control Alt plus. Okay. So there we go. RYS-2640-M7. And that looks like, oh yeah, so that connector widens. And there's a little RGB LED down there. So I guess that's what's actually going to come out of this hole in the bottom. So that is not a microphone hole, which would, I guess if you're doing local AI processing for print failure, would kind of help. But yeah, LED status lights, just like with the Node. So how do I zoom back out? Yeah, and on the back, it's just a pair of USB-Cs and the ESP32 SU AI Thinker. So that can do some local processing, some like very dumbed down neural networks, right? If I'm not mistaken. But that's definitely a cool chip, and I've seen that before somewhere, at least being written about it. RGB, LED, or infrared, it's just an RGB status light. I don't think this does IR illumination. So yeah, that's actually a good point. In the dark, this camera probably is not going to see that well compared to like a real surveillance camera, which typically has an infrared floodlight to it. So you will need some light source, some visible light source for this camera to work. At least that's how I understand it. So boot switch, update firmware in boot mode. These are I2C expansion interfaces. RxT, okay, so that's the UART, the serial one. So serial on the side, I2C on the other side. And yeah, this firmware, I believe, is open source, so you can write your own stuff that can interface with more devices on the side. Case and assembly. So if you buy just the raw AI think I thought, okay, yeah, I might have gotten that wrong, but sorry. If your machine is under 3 or Prusa, please choose the 4-screw version, the picture on the right. Yeah, so this is the for camera mount, for screw, and the one that is in the Pro case. It actually has both. It has, I guess, 4-threaded insert in the bottom, and then these 2 divots in the side where your arm is going to reach into. So print the case if you're buying the basic version, and then attach the antenna or something. Mine doesn't have that, and that would be the arm to attach it to the printer, which I have not printed, and it's probably like a 5-hour print or something. So yeah, we're not going to print that today. And that is for Prusa Mark 3S. What does that attach to? That looks... Okay, so that attaches to... That attaches to the Z-axis? No. Hold on, that attaches to the... Yeah, that attaches to the Z-axis. So this camera would ride up and down as your layers get printed. That's actually kind of a cool idea. Typically, these cameras, either you have them attached to your bed, where they move back and forth with the bed, which is kind of cool for time lapses, or you just have them attached to a fixed point at your printer frame at the bottom. But then, of course, as stuff gets printed, you just lose sight of that. So that's pretty cool that they're attaching it to the, I guess, to the X-axis. It rides up as layers get printed. Do you mean Espressive? Yeah, so I don't know, guys. Espressive, as far as I know, is a company behind the ESP32s, but this one is labeled as explicitly AI Thinker. Let me just, you know what? I want to know. Okay, ESP32, what is the U? What was that? SU. What is the SU about? General type. Okay. AIthinker.com. So it's just the company. Right. So there's no local AI processing that can even happen. Okay. And apparently the website is like super slow. How does Wi-Fi module? Okay. So there's no details there. So it's just one of the many, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth low energy modules. Look at this. Okay, so yeah, nothing special about this one, just a camera to Wi-Fi translator. So case, we covered that, bunch of arms. Oh yeah, so that actually makes sense. So this thing just attaches to your X ends on the Prusa then, and also rides up and down with the toolhead. Animation creation. So this is the Pro version that they sent. Comes with an injection molded case. So yes, that is actually this bit down here looks kind of interesting. So I don't know what happened to the milling there. So in the center of the I guess cutout for whatever camera tripod screw you're going to put in. But yeah, that is injection molded, just like the case for the Node. So that is also the Node. Which camera do I need to gesture to? That one. The Node Pro, which is the exact same hardware, but with the 2 plastic shells. So that's that. Mount Sentry to the printer. We've been there. Configure Wi-Fi and software operation. So this is where it kind of gets interesting. Can this detect more than spaghetti? CRS1 I don't know. We'll find out. So there are some images of like what it can detect. There we go. So it just detects failure, 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 failure. So that's kind of the preview. Max confidence. Yeah, you can see this is, again, very early. Failure, but this looks like it's just stringing and spaghetti that it detects as like three individual failure areas. I don't know what they've trained this for. We'll see. And I don't know how much I'll actually be able to like stress test the software today. But yeah, I think there was, yeah, so Tankani Ayhan, sorry for butchering your name, was saying, hey, I didn't know you were streaming to a second channel. So maybe just to explain that real quick, this channel is just for live streams, just for the like off the cuffs, low preparation, just stream stuff channel. If you're into that, welcome, glad to have you here. But I found that people on the main channel were like, dude, I'm here for your like tight scripted, edited videos, and these sort of hangout streams aren't for me. Like I'm gonna unsubscribe. And I was losing subscribers on the main channel for live streaming. So, you know, I was producing content, and by producing that content, the channel was shrinking. So I pulled the plug. All live streaming is going to happen on this channel only. There is no live streaming on the main channel anymore, which, you know, logistically is a bit of a mess, because like the old channel was set up and now it's a separate one, and like yada, yada, yada. But that's just the thing that makes the most sense. So yes, live streams only on this one. Connect Sentry for PC, so that is for setup, and we're gonna do the setup. Oh, GitHub, cool. Let's see what, I should actually look at the screen, at the proper one. There we go, are you open source? Source code, look at that. So the software is open source as well. That is actually rather cool. I do respect that. Animation creations, yes, the AI processing is done 100% locally on the PC, on whatever PC your Nexus software is running on. Of course, there is the downside that you do need a PC that's running as long as your printer is running. And if it isn't, then you're not going to get any monitoring. Your printer is still going to work, like the node is still going to work if you don't have your PC and the Nexus host running, but you're not going to get the AI processing. And I think that like email notifications and stuff also happening. So you're not going to get that when the PC isn't running. But there's no, like as you can see, you just download the software, you set it up. And as far as I understand it, there is no cloud payments, nothing running on somebody else's PC. So your data doesn't leave your network. Which, you know, privacy, that's something that is consideration. This is all happening locally. So, ooh, that logo does has some weird alpha. So of course, yeah, it wants to allow network connections because you need to connect to the node and to the camera. Search device settings. Okay, let's jump back into the instructions here. Use Type-C connecting to the computer. So let's do that. So we're gonna grab the node. We're gonna grab the Sentry. We're gonna grab the included USB-C cable, and somebody was, so I was bringing up the point like, hey, I keep seeing these purple USB-C cables, and somebody was like, yeah, you know, it's blue and stuff, and that's like USB 3, but if you look in here, that's just the USB 2 cable. That doesn't have the USB 3 pins. So that is just a standard USB 2.0 cable, and it's actually nice and long. I like that they're including long cables. This is like, what is that, meter 50. So some foot, 5 foot cable. That's cool. I hate seeing like super short cables. It's okay for this one. That's like a 20 centimeter cable, a 30 centimeter cable. because this is supposed to sit right next to your printer. But for power cables, like I've got my outlets right up here, but who does? So it's kind of cool. So I'm just going to plug this into, I'm going to plug it into a USB hub. There we go. And let's see, so correct position, I guess we should have checked that first. And that is set to the inwards position. Ooh, look at that zoom. So that slides over inwards and you can see the LED blinking already. Solid red, cool. Inwards is, I guess, the regular operation mode or setup, I don't know. Okay, so after download, please refer to the description on pages 2 to 4 on this link. So let's have a look if there's anything special that we need to do to install it. No. Okay, pages 2 to 4 is literally just download it, click fire detection. Ooh. Now I want the fire detection one. Okay, so this one doesn't come from GitHub. This one is just a Google Drive share. I want the one with fire detection now. Give me that. Yeah, executable may harm your computer. That's why I have a separate streaming PC. But this should be alright. This is so if you didn't know, and ow, if you didn't know, Fiberpunk is actually part of the same company that does my Bryson printers, which is also part of Siriatech. So they're like one big company, which is why I've got these devices in the first place, because like they're kind of trustworthy. You know, if it was just some random company, that's a different story. But you know, my Siriatech, they're established. Like, you know, mostly trustworthy. I still run everything on a separate network from my like actual network here. But yeah, older version. Oh. Is that an older version? But I wanted the fire detection. Downloads. 1.0 port. I'm gonna go with the fire version. As it like explicitly. Should I close this? As like explicitly recommends it here. Beam Nexus Beta 018, so we're at 1.04, so I guess that's slightly newer. Yeah, hi to Derek as well. Good to have you around again, and thank you, by the way, Derek, for the 20 euros after last stream. Either I missed those on stream or that was after the stream was done, but thank you for that. So we have the Beam Nexus running, and so this is, I guess this is now the one with fire detection. And then control, search, yep. We're gonna continue with the Sentry manual. 1.0.5 on GitHub. Let's try this one. I don't want to, it's already the second one to download it. We can still update it. I hope there's no like huge difference. Where's my, but there's no fire in here, right? This is all have fire in here. Hide Sentry. Yeah. Doesn't seem like there's like groundbreaking stuff that we're missing out on. So let's just move on. Connect Wi-Fi, config Wi-Fi with Nexus. So for Sentry, we are configuring the Sentry, so the camera's Wi-Fi through USB here. So setting interface of Nexus, switch the UART Wi-Fi column, select the serial port of Sentry, then enter the SSID and password of the Wi-Fi to connect. Oh God, Windows 11 search. That's, no. I was gonna go for device manager. There you go. And we should have a, yeah, CH340. probably it. COM4, that's going to be our Sentry that we've attached. So you're at Wi-Fi. Dead ports, COM1, we're going to go for COM4. Scan Wi-Fi. Huh. Oh, okay, it uses the computer. It uses the computer. Wait, how can I? Okay, you can just type in here. Okay. I was like, this is a drop down. I can't type in that. So I'm gonna hide the screen real quick as I can I type in the password here? Oh yeah, at least it hides that. But I'm gonna enter my Wi-Fi details here real quick. And oh, you saw that. Ooh. Okay, and then you get to choose device name. So this is going to be Sentry 1. Config Wi-Fi. Yep, and then it goes Wi-Fi set successful. Please reset your device. So I'm going to do that. So reset, I guess that's the easiest way to reset. What does it say? Wi-Fi connect failed. But I guess resetting, plug it in again. So that's just, well, it is, green. And it's off. So this is still still connected to the computer, but we're not connecting to it. It's not lighting up. Let's see if that's what it's supposed to do. Please make sure that other programs do not connect to the serial port. Cool. Yeah. We got that. Wi-Fi is connected normally. Okay, that's exactly what we're getting. Blue light is always on for 2 seconds, a sign that the connection through the Wi-Fi is successful. So let's. So we get red, blink. That's green, that's not blue. Okay, I guess blue and green is like close enough, so we'll let it pass. The status light turned off beforehand, it was red, so I'm going to assume this is connected. Use Nexus to search Sentry. Can manage Sentry and Node at the same time. Open Nexus, click Search Device. So I'm actually going to also plug in the Node here, just to keep track of like all the stuff that's plugged in. So this one we're not going to use. So that's a 1.8 amp. That's a 2 amp supply. Let's wire this up or connect this up to the printer so that we're ready on that front. So as always, USB goes in. That's just going to be the command to start and stop prints from the SD card, and then we insert this dummy the other way around, like that. Okay. And that connects just into the micro SD port, and then we power this guy up. And ideally, we should get a Wi-Fi connected, Wait, connect Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi ready. So this is node 3, and IP is .177 at the end. So we should be able to find this in Nexus. I just want to have both devices connected up. And I'm also going to move the Sentry over here so that we're not connected to USB on the computer. Blink, and you're connected. Cool. Animation creations, do you really need a 2 amp supply? Well, honestly, These supplies are so light. I don't know if they actually can do 2 amps continuously. Like if you compare it to like a brand name, Lenovo, LG supply, even like the 1 amp HTC, is this a 1 amp? Yeah, the 1 amp HTC supply, this is from my Vive. This is heavier than the one included here. So I don't think this is a real 2 amp supply, but yeah, with an ESP32 or a camera, like if these really use 10 watts, there's no way they're going to cool themselves because, you know, a small plastic box is pretty bad at dissipating heat. I don't think these can actually dissipate 10 watts. Is that LL432? Like these live streams, more not that the polished ones is not good, but just prefer the style. Yeah, I mean, that's what this channel is for. I do enjoy making these streams because they're less uptight than the usual scripted content, which has its, I mean, look, that's what I live and breathe. The scripted videos are just, well, they're my bread and butter. That's literally what I make my money with. Yeah, these streams, I feel like they're a good opportunity to show off stuff that I'm just figuring out. Maybe you guys can figure it out along with me, and we get to hang out, and it's all good. They're pretty stressful though, like being the sole entertainer on a video stream to, I don't know how many people are watching, too many probably. That's stressful, and usually I'm like, I totally wipe out after the stream, but it's good fun. Every once in a while. I wouldn't want to do it every single day. Okay, use Nexus to search Sentry. So we're on that screen. No, we're not on that screen. Where's my Nexus? There's my Nexus. Search device. It should find both the Sentry and the node. And it didn't. Please ignore Sentry in the device list. If you're using node with Sentry. Wait a minute. Are you able to connect these like together? Huh. So yeah, or is this just a node because you can use Sentry without a node? Just like using the camera with the host app with Nexus as a status monitor, that would be that's a legitimate application though. Like the node isn't for everyone. Like the way that, for example, you can't really upload stuff while the printer is printing, and you don't get too much real time. Node is a really simple, basic. Node is a really basic interface and a really basic piece of hardware right now. So this might not be something you want to use. You might just want to use an SD card. And I guess you can use Sentry just by itself and get notifications when your print's failing. Cool stuff. But why are we not finding this? Why is it not showing up? So that's how it's supposed to look. That's how it is. And let's just double check that we are in fact able to connect to it. Yes, there is the node. And there's nothing, still giving me the not there. There we go, now it's working. You actually have to mount it and then unmount it. Why are you not showing up? Can I enter you manually? Does that log anything? Oh, look, oh, okay, there it is. It's finding the node, but it's not finding Sentry. I don't know if both should show up, but we'll just... if you're using node with Sentry, please ignore Sentry in the device list. Check hide Sentry, so that's the feature from 1.05. Double-click to enter node's control interface and select the paired Sentry to control. Okay, so you double-click, okay. That actually looks better than the web interface. Right, we get a temperature graph. Huh, that's the interface that the node is giving you directly on the, just on port 88 through HTTP. But I guess this is using the API instead, because the Node, and I guess the Sentry as well, do have an API that anything can connect to, and we're using Node to connect to this right now. We're using Nexus to connect to this right now. There's so many names here. Let's see, so temperature graph. Are we connected to, we should be connected to a printer. We should be getting some sort of a graph here. Sentry, okay. Update, so I guess down here we can select if we want to connect the Sentry. Yeah. Live? No Sentry camera selected, so you have to select it first. But it is not showing up. Okay. Okay. Do we have troubleshooting here? Nope. Realize intelligent monitoring. Yes. Sentry needs the antenna. Sentry needs the antenna. Nah, there's no. There's no antenna included. So, ow. I keep hitting my knee on that. Let's actually have a go at one of these and have a look inside. So the question is, did the Sentry get an IP? I do not know. So the status LED isn't quite doing what the instructions is telling me. So where is it? Here. The blue light always on for 2 seconds, a sign that the connection to the Wi-Fi is successful. We're getting a green light and not a blue light. Though the image also shows a green light, so it's doing exactly that sequence. So blinking red, then it's shining green or blue, and then the LED is turning off. So we are connected to Wi-Fi. I can check in my router in a second, but just to make sure that we don't have like Wi-Fi antenna issues, I'm going to take this one apart. We have two. So that's the one that is connected right now, and the second one, I want to have a look inside. We're just going to take a quick peek. Whoop. Yep, that's the Wi-Fi antenna. So, yep, exactly as expected. There's a little flex PCB. I guess this might not even be Kapton material. This could just be like I don't know, polyester or something. Yeah, but that is a little taped-in antenna to the case. So that's built in. Doesn't need the external stubby one, though you can still connect it. There is still like that. What are these called? These have a name. These tiny little connectors that break after 2 cycles. Yeah, you can still connect like a big external antenna, but it has one built in. With the non-pro version, I guess you get the stubby one included. And yeah, there is that camera in the front. Quite the long lens. I did not expect that. So typically with these lenses, you can screw them in and out to focus them, and it's probably the same one with these. They do have a bit of gunk on there, just to keep it from moving during shipping and during use. And also there's like a really big copper pad on the front here, so I guess that's a heatsink. Actually, no, that's what the... So that's actually what the camera itself, so I guess the CCD in this case, or CMOS, I don't know what sensor this is mounted to, and it's just mounted to this copper slug. You can see that is quite substantial. That's probably the most expensive bit of this entire board, that piece of copper. So yeah, cooling the sensor, keeping noise down, image noise, kind of cool. Also maybe just keeping the chip from overheating. So the antenna is in there, but we're not finding any of the cameras in here, and it's also not showing up in the overview screen here. Ah, interesting that when you hit search, it actually disappears. So I'm going to head over to my router and just double check. I'm not going to show you the password. Do I want to save this? Yeah, actually, let's save it. Whatever. Network DHCP. Okay, so we have Node 3 and then ESP32 Arduino. I assume that is the Sentry because it is the newest device on here. ESP32 matches. That's this computer, and that board is my info panel that I built. So let's see what we get here. Maybe on port 88. There could be something. Nope. So Sentry does not have a. We can have VLC installed. Sentry does not have any sort of web interface, apparently. Well, let's see if we can connect to the video stream. Do you have a flip to switch? Do I have a flip to switch? I don't think I do, because I think with the switch pointing towards the edge of the case, we're in flash mode. So it says, yeah, flip inwards. We did that. Yeah, and then leave it there. So there's no, you need to flip the switch back. Did that. Yeah, power cycle did that. Okay, and then it should show up. And we're still only seeing the node. If anyone knows how to, nope, how to actually connect to the video feed, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Because if we can connect to the video feed, it might just be, you know, the two components not being able to find each other for whatever firewall reason, or I don't know. There's nothing in this network that would be weird, but yeah, never know. And while you guys figure that out, I'm going to experiment here as well. Do we just get some? Nah, okay, that would have been too easy. Is this an RTSP? Yep. Doesn't look like it. So the info about the API and ports and stuff was on GitHub. So let's check what we get for Fiberpunk Sentry API. There we go. Serial port to configure. Okay, so the software just sends those 3 commands to set up Wi-Fi name, password, and Sentry name. Though interestingly, we also didn't get. Yeah, so this one is correctly named Node 3. This one does not have the Sentry 1 host name that I gave it. Device discovery interface. Okay, so if we send something to port 88/find, Sentry returns Sentry camera, Sentry name, Sentry appearance. Okay, so I guess the discovery is literally just you poke every address and you're like, hey, are you a Sentry? And if it's like, hey, I'm a Sentry, then it gets recognized. So port 88, let's see if that works. Port 88/find. And it does not. So theoretically, it should reply with some status. Where were we? There, GitHub. It should reply with Sentry camera name something, but it is not replying at all. No response. Okay. See if there's anything interesting. Capture. So capture should return a captured image. And then on stream, we get the video stream. So let's try capture. Capture. And is it on port 88? It is not on port 88? It works on neither. So this Sentry apparently isn't connecting all too well. So let's, what are we doing? What are we doing? So I guess at this point we have determined that it's not the host software that is giving us trouble here. It is the Sentry itself that doesn't seem to respond on the network. I'm going to flip the switch and just plug it in. But yeah, that doesn't actually do anything. It just literally doesn't boot, because I guess that is the ESP32's boot switch, more or less. That says flash new firmware to it. So red, blink, 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 green, and off. So, oh, no, not, and now it's working. Okay. I guess all it took was a quick power cycle. I'm holding it upside down, I'm realizing. And now it, oh, okay. Do it. Hold on. Do I need to like? It's pretty slow. It is really slow. Okay, but apparently it's working now. Though I'm not sure if it's like, it seems intermittent. Wi-Fi connection should be pretty good. Like literally like in that image, up here is where the Wi-Fi router is. So that is line of sight with like 6 meters at most. And okay, that worked 3 times. Let's try the other. Nope, let's not try the other Sentry. Let's see if we can maybe get a video stream. 81/stream. That's what we're supposed to do, right? 81/stream, yep. So theoretically, we should get a video feed here now. Maybe if I point the Wi-Fi antenna towards the router. That seems to work, actually. Okay. The stream is pretty black. Let's see if we can get the up. If you get it to show up, update. And this is a field that I can't type in, so that's unfortunate. Because I know where it is. I know we're getting some responses, but it's not showing up. It is not showing up. So I'm going to try the second Sentry up next. I need to get this back together. Nope, nope, not stop in 8 hours. That's not what I wanted. So just to double check, the antenna is solidly attached here. It might just be that this antenna is falling off in the other one. I don't know. And then you go on like this. Then 1 screw, 2 screw, 3 screw. I'm just going to use the Bosch Go as a screwdriver because these have like 2 turns on the thread before they bottom out, so these don't hold all too well. They're already pretty long, and I don't want to strip them. The external antenna version isn't flaky like that. Okay, so it might just be the internal one, but like I said, Wi-Fi isn't bad in here. There's nothing, no obstructions, no nothing between these. So you go bye-bye. and you get configured again. All right. So, same as before, the switch points towards the inside of the device, away from the edge. We plug into the in port through USB. There we go, and we get the blinking red light, which means we're not connected to Wi-Fi. So this is the second node, by the way, just in case. And then Nexus is closed. While we're at it, let's also try the newest version of Nexus. So where was that? That was with Beam32 ASP. There we go. Let's try that. Maybe it has more robust detection or something. I don't know. Rob was having some issues with breaking the node when connecting the power. Huh. ESP32 should be pretty robust. I don't know. Hi to Michael. Hi back to you, and hi to Daniel. I think I've said hi to Daniel before. But hi again, just in case. Oh, that's the camera. Hi again, just in case. Is this why I send you multiples of everything? Then you'd have problems. I don't know. I mean, Prussia literally sent me 2 Mark IIIs when they sent me those. They were like, hey, yeah, we're sending you a kit, but just in case you mess up, here's a fully built one that we've tested and we know works. I don't know if that's the reputation I want to have. I'm just, I'm just showing stuff as I experience it. Yeah, maybe you saw that scroll by OpenCV. This is, the software itself is open source, and also it is built on open source technology, which makes sense. So just in case, I'm double checking both of these checkboxes allow in private and in work networks or public networks. And Windows 11. I don't know where your network config is, but I also don't know what this is set to. So hide Sentry, because we only want to configure it with a node, and it should pick up the node here. Yep, so that still works. But of course, right now we don't have a Sentry set up, so we can go back to the, come on, update, back to the config page. We can call this Sentry 2. I hope I got that right. We'll see if if the blink pattern is correct. And then I'm going to enter my Wi-Fi name here. And basically we hit config Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi is set successful. Please reset your device. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to unplug it and replug it. And ideally we will get the red, green, and that's it. So Sentry 2 should be configured. Let's double check if it is. So back in the router, we've got the, okay, so so you still have a DHCP lease, but you're disconnected. Okay, so we're now at 178. And that was capture to get a single image, right? Yes. So that works, but it's not fast either. No Wi-Fi error this time in software? Nope. Nope. But let's see if it picks up in the device overview. It does. Okay. That's better. Device status null, idle, progress null, because it doesn't have a progress, because it's not a printer host. So let's go into the beam. And there we go. There's the camera Sentry 2. Okay, something up with that other Sentry. I don't know. That's what we were doing. No, so live camera, and that should update with a live image. Whatever that slider does. Do it without capture to get to the settings. Okay. Well, does it have a... So this is the Sentry IP address. Does it have a web interface at all? We didn't get one before. Oh, okay. So it is capturing. It is working, and I guess that's an exposure slider because that is way too bright. Yeah, refresh rate though, whew, rough. I pointed towards the Wi-Fi, towards the router. It would be nice to see some sort of status display on the Sentry here, but yeah, except for the LED on the device itself, there isn't much happening there. Okay, but we do have some sort of a connection going. So detect, I guess, would be your preview screen of what the neural network is seeing, and then time-lapse for time-lapsing. Disable, I guess, just turns off the refresh, but I just want to see this thing update. Okay. Hard enough. Don't fall down. Animation creations, the fix was one of those two things. I think it is the Sentry itself, more or less, because this might just be enough of a Wi-Fi connection for it to work. This is still like at the edge of what seems to be a reliable connection. Pretty common with the ESP32 devices, unfortunately. I know the ESP32s I use myself have like a Wi-Fi repeater sitting right next to them. But this, like I said, it's like right up there. It's not even 5 meters, 6 meters or something with direct line of sight. That should be a reliable connection. But I also did update the software. It seems to work now, kind of. So I can select it in the interface. Oh, and it does bring up the the settings here. Okay. Wow. UXGA 1600 by 1200. That is quite a couple of pixels. That's like a 2 megapixel, roughly. This quality, I guess, would be compression if you're getting straight to MJPEG. Enroll face. Start stream. So this looks basically like a sample UI for the OV2640. Click start stream to get the video. It's video. Okay, so this looks, I mean, this isn't smooth or anything, but for like object detection, this should be all right. Okay, looks like we're getting somewhere. Does it do, please select SIF for loading. Okay. So if we actually move it the correct way up, the stream stops. So as soon as I touch it, as soon as I touch it, as soon as I do anything to the device, it seems to power down. Actually, idea. Here's an idea. Here's a crazy one. Perhaps instead of using that power supply, let's use a different power supply. I don't know if this thing is like noisy or something. This is, I think, the charger from an LG G7 or something. Let's use a different charger. Maybe that's interfering with the Wi-Fi. Blink, 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 green. It's very finicky. Okay, thanks Rob for doing this before I have to. You can flip the image and set the quality. So this isn't even the updated interface now. Yeah. Let's just reload this. If you reduce the resolution, you will get more FPS. That's a good point. I would just like to get the interface to load up at all. Yeah, Daniel's saying, hey, these cams are slow. I get that. Like, I know I'm not supposed to expect like crisp 60 FPS, 2 megapixel or 1080p or whatever streaming here, but I would at least like it to load up reliably. That's the one thing I kind of need. It doesn't look like it's doing that. Max 15 FPS at full resolution. That's actually pretty amazing for an ESP32. 2 megapixel, 15 FPS. That is pretty usable. This isn't usable. I'm just trying to think, like, how can I improve the Wi-Fi signal here? Let me see, like, what the status on the Wi-Fi is here. Yeah, so Wi-Fi is full signal. Actually, that's a different network. Yeah. Yeah, full signal on my phone here. Not even 1 dot off. And this is a commercial area. There's not a whole lot of Wi-Fi noise in the background. And it's not connecting. Oh, come on. Come on. The thing with mobile hotspot is, how am I gonna get this computer onto it? I guess with the Wi-Fi, I do have a Wi-Fi stick here somewhere. Yeah, honestly, that might be the only option. Animation creations, that is a Pixel 5. That is just a. Whoop. As I feel like I had to. Wow, I mean, it looks filthy, but Pixel 5. I had a G6, just like you. Love that phone. Perfect for my hands. I have small hands. I can't really grip large devices, so this is like. Look, I can hardly touch my fingers on it. So if I hold it like this, look how far my thumb goes. Like, if I hold it normally, I can barely reach across the area where you typically have your keyboard. So, got the Pixel 5. If you can still find one, very highly recommended. Great device. And it's like the last good compact phone. Everything else is like 6.7-inch screens, and I look at that. Like, I physically get pinky cramps when I use a larger phone. But it looks like that's what we're gonna have to do. Can we do like can we do Python on a USB cable? Well, USB cable for like power? Don't think that's the problem. What can we do here? Wi-Fi access point on a PC, but then you're not going to get DHCP, I think, if it even does that. I think mobile hotspot is the only option here. Yeah, let's do that. Just to make sure we get something that is like somewhat reliable, and then the phone's going to do DHCP. Okay, how do we do this? Internet. God, why do they keep changing stuff around? No, it's not in the internet panel. It's in a different panel on Android 12 now. So all the settings, network and internet, hotspot, there it is. So, cool, it's still called Poco F2. So we're gonna call this, what are we gonna call this? Layer. And then password is going to be layer as well. All no layer. Then no. Well, I guess we're going to have to keep that on. Layer. Safe mode. Yep. Okay. So that is set up. Let's grab the Wi-Fi stick. So that's the one that came with the Quinley, if I can find it. There it is. So Wi-Fi stick goes into the computer. And then I guess best case is we just unplug Ethernet on this guy entirely because we don't need it. One of the perks of having a separate streaming computer, because otherwise the stream would be dead. And I hope I unplugged the correct computer. Yes, I did. Layer connect. I don't want to show you the other Wi-Fis. I'm sorry. I would like to show you a screen cap, but I cannot do that as of right now. And I guess I should set that as a metered connection. Come on, connecting. Do you need to confirm anything here? Come on, why do you take so long? Is the mobile internet so bad here? Actually, does this like provide the Wi-Fi the phone is connected to other devices? Is that how that works now? Okay, sorry if this is kind of boring. I'm trying to connect to this Wi-Fi here, but layer. You know what, if I... Oh, connected secured. Actually, if I go over to studio mode, let me check if you guys will actually be able to see what's behind here anyway. Yeah, no, unfortunately my camera doesn't cover enough. Turn off studio mode. So we are connected to layer. And let's set this to metered. Metered connection, yes. So just to make sure we're not pulling like Windows updates and stuff. Not the fastest, but I guess that's what the compatibility mode does. And we're getting 154 IP address ranges. Interesting. You should still be able to access other devices on the network, even if you're going via the hotspot. So yeah, my main network is a 0.1 address range. So that would be at least a different subnet. I don't know. So how do we know the addresses of other devices? Does the phone show us like DHCP leases? I don't think it does. But let's just try. Let's just try if we can set this up for the layer hotspot and if we can get auto detect to work here. So plugging in the Sentry 2 into the computer again. So note that was not working. Setting UART Wi-Fi, layer, and then layer config. Wi-Fi set successfully. Please reset your device. So let's see. Okay. And we also get a Wi-Fi connect successful note here, which is interesting. So you go back over here. Blink, blink, blink. And we're connected. Okay. Now, what's the IP address of this thing? I have no idea. But theoretically, we should be able to... Now, do we have to scan first? We might need to scan first. So, search device. And now it's not picking up anything. Oh well. Oh well. Well, that kind of sucks. That was all for nothing. Well, at least now we know that this doesn't work. I don't know if this just doesn't allow devices to communicate, but there's like no setting there to change that. But this is connected, and I don't know what IP address it's getting. Well, any suggestions? Looks like you're just sharing your Wi-Fi network rather than mobile data. Yeah, that shouldn't matter. All I care about, like the connection between these two. I want to have a strong Wi-Fi connection between this and that, and everything that goes off of the phone now as a Wi-Fi hotspot. Doesn't matter. Probably no routing, and it's expecting not to have to find a device on a different subnet. So these should all be on the same subnet now. So this Sentry is connected to the Wi-Fi hotspot, and my computer. My computer is connected to the. Oh, sorry, my face is in the way. But it's trust me, it says layer, so it's connected to the phone as well. Yeah, if it does do AP isolation, then this kind of was just a moot point. Okay, guess that didn't work. Can I? Oh God. Just trying to think. So if I grab my Wi-Fi access point, I can connect. I'm not going to have internet on that. I'm not going to have internet on that computer. But at least I can get the connection working between this and the Wi-Fi, just to make sure we have a strong connection. Hey, Fiberpunk's here. Yeah, you guys might want to scroll back a bit. Because this guy is not giving us a reliable connection to whatever Wi-Fi it's connected to. So I'm actually going to try that, I think. I don't want it because it's all wired up, but I don't think I have much of a choice right now. Hope that wasn't too much wind noise. Maybe you guys can watch me up there. Are we gonna bring down any devices if we do that? I don't think so. Ha 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 ha. We are going to probably what's connected to this. The DAC board, yes. So that's where it's getting its internet from, and the second one is just the computer. So this shouldn't actually, yeah, this shouldn't matter too much. Somebody set up this Wi-Fi or this entire networking setup with some intent. Ha. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and then we need. Oh no, that's go. Let's go into the UPS, isn't it? I'm gonna have to reach in here, and that's that cable. And that goes down here. And where does this? Oh, my arm is too short. Where does this go? Where does this go? Okay, if I unplug the wrong one, we lose internet and the stream's over. But I think this is the one. Let's try. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that took way too long to turn off. That was scary. Okay, so we have a TP-Link power supply. There's some zip ties here. And another one there. Okay. So all this stuff I can leave up here. I can stay open, doesn't matter, that stays here. And all I need is the Wi-Fi and the network cable. And I think I have a network cable somewhere. If not, ow, hi. If not, I can connect through Wi-Fi, so that should work. The stuff I do for these live streams. By the way, wireless audio. Much fun. Very much fun. Somebody was saying that they had just set up like an old TLWR 841 for like an isolated network with DD-WRT or whatever this one is. Oh no, this one tilted down. I'm sorry if that tilted down too much. Yeah, guess what device is running my secondary network here? It's the good old TLWR 841N. I think everyone has one of these. These are like 20 euro routers. They're fantastic. Unfortunately, not supported by DD-WRT anymore. But we are going to get perfect Wi-Fi reception here. So much fun not being able to see anything. Yeah, pro streamer doing his thing. So, okay, this guy's booting up. And yeah, whatever instructions we have loaded up on this system, that's what we're gonna get. So this is gonna stay here. We don't have any internet connection here. We do have Wi-Fi, but I'm not gonna be able to. Well, if I connect to the other Wi-Fi. Oh, we are actually connected to this guy. That's cool. So actually, that should mean our node is connected too. No, but this one was connected to the mobile hotspot. But this one should still connect to this guy. Let's see if it does. The green. Okay. And theoretically, it should actually be getting the same IP address, which was 121. So there we go. So that works. Okay, and That is okay. That is a lot faster. And I guess as soon as I put my finger on it, it was kind of slowing down. You can see the Wi-Fi connection strength in real time. That is interesting. So if I just put my finger there, it completely stops. And as soon as I remove it, it should recover, or at least it should be fast. But as soon as I put my finger there, it stops. So this is really sensitive to like humidity and fingery bits in context. So really, I guess that's how you're supposed to, or need to hold it for good Wi-Fi reception. There we go. Okay. Are you still gonna load? No internet. No, how is this now disconnected from Wi-Fi? Oh, I guess Windows disconnected because it didn't have any internet on that. Let me just plug it in. If I have a spare, oh God, I bought so many Ethernet cables for this studio. And I keep running out. I keep using them. I keep putting them places. No internet secured. Okay, so that's connected. But I'm still just going to plug it in because just to make sure the Wi-Fi connection to the PC is not the issue here. Because it's just a USB Wi-Fi card at this point. And those are known to be not super reliable. At least, you know, to me, to not be super reliable. I don't trust them. I don't trust Wi-Fi in general. All right, so we are wired up. That's cool. Wide Ethernet, so that should be a solid connection from this computer to the router now. Okay. And I'm not supposed to touch it. Good. Good, so that's working. So the Wi-Fi. Okay, you need really good Wi-Fi reception, as in like that good Wi-Fi reception. All right, ESP32, always fun to work with. Let's see, and then if we do port 81, we should have a stream. Maybe we don't have stream, but we do have capture. And if we just do this, oh, we have a video stream, something of a video stream. Okay. Okay. SXJ is the best compromise. 800 by 600. Oh, you can change it in real time. Doesn't look that great. Yeah, and as soon as you move it, the connection is gone. So, right. Does it just send when it... It seems to only send images when it detects enough of a frame change, too. All right, I'm just going to send... Now it seems... Now it's actually pretty fluent. I guess I hit the magic spot. I shall try and mount this up in some way so that it's like pointing in the right direction, roughly. How do I do this? I did not print the arm, but I can use a tripod, and I can use some of that magic gaffer tape if I can find it. If I can find it, do I not have any gaffer tape here? I have 2 rolls. I should just buy 20 or something. Oh, white. White is good too. Now, unfortunately, this tripod is made from metal, which means it might block the Wi-Fi connection again. Zip ties and duct tape. Yeah, that is a guaranteed to work solution. So you are going to come off here. Come on. And then you, it's just the wrong size. I'm almost able to just clamp it down, but yeah, that's actually good enough. By the way, I'm just noticing this is like almost action cam size. This is almost a GoPro size as far as how it's in the hand. It's slightly smaller, I think, but overall almost feels like a GoPro. And then in is on the left side, so I'm going to try and keep that port open. Fill with sand. Ha! Yeah, being able to use some old network camera, that would be pretty cool, because I do have a couple of those. So Fiberpunk, take note. Allow custom MJPEG streams or video streams in general for use with Nexus. That would be a very, very cool feature. That's like good enough. Matches the white USB cable. That's kind of cool. So now we can actually angle it down, roughly into position, clamp it. Very good. God. Fiberpunk, sorry guys, didn't mean to keep you up. 1:30 a.m. So far we've learned that the Wi-Fi connection on these Pro models with the built-in antenna, not the greatest. And basically, so far the issue seems to have been that within like 5 meters of direct line of sight, the Wi-Fi connection is not reliable at all. To a point where, it was not picking up the Sentry with a Nexus. But now it should. Now it should find it. Maybe I'm gonna have to restart Node. Nope, it found Node, but it did not find Sentry. That's interesting. So 121 should be the address. For the Sentry. And then, yeah, 121 still connected. Okay, and it's loading, but it is really slow. So the interface is loading like super slowly, and if you go to single capture mode, capture. It's just not coming up. That's taking forever. And this is like, oh, here we go. It's loading. Maybe. And that is like literally the distance between that camera, like I can reach over to it, to this router. It's like right there. Maybe if I do that. Yeah, so it's not getting picked up by Nexus. Yeah, and from what I understand in chat, that seems to be a problem with the built-in antenna entirely. And Rob Vantine here, I believe, has the external antenna, the stubby antenna for these Sentries. I don't think I have any other antennas that I can try here. At least I don't have any in the studio. I might have some at home, but I don't think I do, to be honest. So as is, it's just not getting picked up. And we're not getting to the point where we can try any of the AI detection stuff. That is a shame. That is a shame. You shielded masking tape, didn't you? Yeah, nah. That is a shame, and I don't think what else we can do here. We tried the mobile, what's it called, the mobile hotspot, but that has AP isolation, so these were not able to talk to each other. I brought the Wi-Fi access point down. This is as good of a Wi-Fi reception we can give it. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to see what Fiberpunk can make of this. And for today, I don't think I've got any more to show. This is promising. I mean, this looks a lot better than the web interface from Node. And we do get temperature graph, we do get camera and stuff, but it's just not working out. I don't know if this is an issue with these samples that I have here, if this requires like a V2 hardware revision, but I think there is not much that I can do here. Then yeah, so I'm not talking about the non-detachable antennas of this TP-Link. I'm talking about the antenna that's built into the Sentry. These have good reception. I know I can walk over 2 buildings and it can still connect to the sky. But it's the built-in antenna in here, I think. So unfortunately, that's all I can do for today. Thank you all for being here and actually giving some really good tips here. That's gonna be it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Sorry, Fiberpunk, that this didn't work out. Happens with early hardware. Everyone, have a great Saturday, have a great weekend, and I will see you in the next one. Sorry to end this one so abruptly, but that's all I can do. Bye.